Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to One Piece, episodes 788 and 789, I believe? Yes. So yeah, 2 more episodes of One Piece this week. Just doing 2 because it just feels right, plus I had to get to some other stuff. I actually, half an hour ago, finished my recording for Carol and Tuesday, one of the anime of the spring 2019 anime season previews. I had to take that half-hour break, actually maybe a little more than half an hour, but either way, I had to take that break because I was so freaking emotional. I was kind of on the verge of losing it. Even now, just thinking about it, I'm getting emotional again. If you haven't seen that yet, if you haven't seen that reaction, I don't know which of these is coming up first, but if you haven't seen that, watch it. Phenomenal first episode. Easily my anime of the season already. Though that can change as the season progresses, and possibly will. But either way, at least for now, definitely my early pick for anime of the season. But either way, we're here with One Piece today. More One Piece, more Whole Cake Island. Last time we got to meet, what's her face? Pudding. Charlotte Pudding. One of the Charlotte family, daughter of Big Mom, and Sanji's betrothed. So, yeah, she seems pretty nice. I like the concept of her working against her mother rather than being with her. I think it's a good idea, a smart idea to have her be an enemy of her mother. Because, again, I just feel like if everyone, all of Big Mom's many children, were all on her side and stuff, it would just kind of take away from things a little bit. I feel like with as many children as she has, there has to be at least some of them who are against her, and at the very minimum, one. And Pudding seems like the perfect one to be that one. Just her personality, her character so far, yeah, I think it would be very fitting. But we also went back to the ship, and we found out that apparently Peckham's might have been kidnapped. We don't know for sure. He might have left on his own accord, but he might have been kidnapped. And there was a warning in the bathroom. I don't know why in the bathroom, but yeah. So things are starting to get definitely more interesting. And Luffy even said, be careful, be on watch. But he's like, obviously, like, oh yeah, we're still going forward. Just be careful, though. And I like that he said that. I like that he does show that concern and does understand that this could be trouble. It's a nice touch that they really didn't have to do. But they did. So yeah. I don't know exactly where this is going to go. I don't know if we're going to get more Sanji with these 2 episodes. I don't know if we're going to get more of the Charlotte family or the Vinsmoke family. There's a lot that is going on already with this arc, so it's hard to tell. I guess we'll just find out. So, let's get this going. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the links to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episodes. That being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay. So 2 pretty good episodes here, and there's some stuff that happened with Luffy and the crew on the ship, but I don't really think that stuff's really super worth talking about. I mean, the fruit football fish were interesting. But honestly, the stuff that happened on the ship was pretty just unimportant. It was just kind of like, oh, what is the crew currently doing on their way to Whole Cake Island? So let's focus on the important stuff, and there's really 3 things to talk about. First, Gamma 66. So the first of these 2 episodes started with Gamma 66 on Brock Kali Island, and we see that they're not really focused on the war and stuff that's happening between the people there. They're just doing something else. They're there for something else. And so they kind of are doing their own thing. I don't know exactly what. We don't know what their entire goal is or why they interfered in, I guess, the war if it wasn't really their concern. So it's like, it's hard to say. All we know is that two of Sanji's brothers were there, and now they're, I guess, heading home. So that was, there's definitely some more build-up for Gamma 66 and Sanji's family, the Vinsmokes. So I'm really interested to see where they continue to take that. They're building it up slowly, with bit by bit, introducing the different members as they continue on. But next I want to talk about is Big Mom's hunger pangs, what the episode was named after and kind of focused on the most. So apparently Big Mom has these moments where she has these like massive, horrible hunger pangs that just come from these sudden cravings. It sends her into a frenzy where she kind of goes on this blind rampage, storming through Whole Cake Island, eating everything she can, destroying and killing people. And it's absolutely horrific, like it should be. Like, yeah, someone her size rampaging and storming through this island, killing people and destroying buildings and shit. It's like, yeah, it's going to be horrific. She even, as we see, she's so blind to things. She's not consciously making these decisions. So she ends up killing one of her own children, her son, Moscato. And the way she kills him is interesting. So I assume this is a devil fruit power, because she stole his life force out of his body, which killed him. She stole his life force out of his body. Now, we had seen in a previous episode, and even this one as well, that Big Mom is surrounded by all these living, inanimate objects, basically. We have a living sun, a living cloud, living trees, flowers, cream puffs, as we saw in this episode. Things that normally aren't alive, but they are here. And so the question is, how? And so we see here that she can take someone's life force, their basically living essence. What if she can take that, and in the same way that Gecko Moria from Thriller Bark can take someone's shadow and put it into someone else, what if she can put someone's life essence into someone else? Though unlike with Gecko Moria's power, the life essence doesn't necessarily translate to the new creature or whatnot, like in the way like, oh, it's like they don't gain their personality or anything. It's just, it brings them to life. It's their life essence. It's bringing those objects to life in their own way. I mean, it doesn't say one way or the other in these two episodes, but that's kind of what I think was going on. All we saw is that she can take life, but maybe she can give it as well. It's very possible. That's all I'm saying. Blind Rampage, it takes up a lot of the runtime here. And oh my gosh, my camera. My camera's been doing that a lot lately, and I have no idea why. But anyways, her Blind Rage takes up most of the runtime of these episodes, and rightfully so. It's this major factor. She's literally rampaging throughout this island, destroying everything in sight, killing all of these people. And it's like, yeah, that's going to be a big deal. And the only way to stop it is to give her what she's craving. In this case, Croquembouche. Croquembouche apparently is this tower of decorated, candied cream puffs. Sounds delicious as fuck. I mean, I love cream puffs. They're fantastic. But yeah, it's like, that's what she's craving here. And so, of course, everyone starts getting the chefs and all working on it, but it's not going fast enough because the chefs obviously want to make it the best they can, not only just because they're chefs and they want to make the best food possible, but because they want it to be something delicious enough for Big Mom. Because if it's not good enough, then who knows what will happen. She'll probably get even worse. But the day is saved when Jinbei comes in. And that's the third thing I want to talk about here, Jinbei. So Jinbei is a character who first appeared in Impel Down. Impel Down is the like basically world famous prison in the Grand Line that Luffy was in at one point. Luffy, with the help from Boa Hancock, broke in to try and find Ace. And it was there that he got reunited with such familiar faces as Buggy the Clown, Mr. 3 from Baroque Works, Crocodile himself was there, and even Blackbeard showed up at one point. But the one that was really notable was Jinbei. That's kind of where we met him. We also met Ivankov there. And then we saw Jinbei again during the war at Marineford. And the events right after Luffy kind of lost his shit because of Ace's death. And Jinbei honestly helped Luffy snap out of that. And then we saw him again during the Fishman Island arc, where he actually gave his blood to save Luffy's life. Which is really amazing when you think about it. It's like I hadn't thought about that in quite a while, so it kind of skipped my mind. But yeah, Luffy, technically speaking, has Fishman blood running through him. I wonder if that'll ever come into play. Like, is that going to, like, change him in some way? Or already has, possibly? Because that's an interesting idea. And it also, even just beyond that idea, bonds Luffy and Jinbei in a very significant way. Now, we obviously know Luffy invited Jinbei to join the crew, and he said, I can't join yet. I have to take care of some stuff first. And in this episode, after sating Big Mom, we find out that that's what he's about to do. He's about to fulfill his promise and finish his business so he can, presumably, join the crew. Now, I don't know exactly what his business is as the leader of the Sun Pirates and as an associate of Big Mom, but it's going to be interesting to see. Now, one other thing, going back to Big Mom, after Jinbei gave her the croquembouche, which I'm still kind of disturbed by, it's like he's feeding her living beings. Like, it's one thing that she's eating them on her own, but come on, Jinbei, you're a good guy. Don't you see that that's kind of fucked up? Like, who knows where she got those, how she made those? If my theory is correct, and they were created by imbuing life force energy from people that she stole it from, who knows who that life force originally belonged to? It could be kids. And you're just feeding them to... I'm sorry, that's disturbing to me. But I mean, beyond that, let's move on from that, because I could ramble about that forever. So he feeds her, and it kind of snaps her out of her blind rage, which basically proves, as we see, she has no idea where she is. She has no idea why Jinbei's there or what's going on. She's just like, oh, what's happening here? What's happening? Jinbei, my loyal knights, why are you here? And it's like she's all happy and everything again. It's like that makes it even more fucked up in a way, because it's like she has no idea what she did. What would happen if she found out? Like, they hid the truth from her. They were clearly actively hiding that truth from her. What would happen if she found out that she had been eating all of these sentient beings she created? Or, again, I assume she created. What would happen if she found out that she stole her own son's life energy? What would happen? So many questions this raises. But in a good way, in a very good way. But either way, Jinbei's like, oh, I gotta tell you something. And suddenly she gets pissed. Now, he does tell her, and she's like, follow me the next time we see them. And it's just, then they head off, and that's where Jinbei has his little flashback memories of his time with Luffy and everything. So it's just like, what is going to happen from here on out? What's he about to do? What's Big Mom leading him to? She seemed angry at the prospect of him leaving her crew. There's a lot to question with this. This is getting really good, though. Big Mom is a really interesting main antagonist. Her personality in general, but also the fact that she does have these hunger pangs, really adds an interesting layer to her. As well as this possible devil fruit power, if that's what it is, stealing the life energy from people. That's a terrifying devil fruit power. How do you stop that? It seems to take time, but it's like, can you just stop that? I'm really curious. I guess we'll find out in the future, hopefully, but for now, tell me in the comments below what you thought of these 2 episodes of One Piece. What did you think of Big Mom's powers? What do you think of her blind rage and the just disturbing consequences of it? And what do you think of Jinbei's return? Tell me your thoughts on all of that and more in the comments below, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.
And though you've come through many obstacles,